Did you ever hear that there's an ancient trick for turning your toughest moments into your best chances? Picture this. Imagine dealing with big problems in life while staying super calm inside, like nothing could shake your peace. Sounds like something only superheroes can do, right? Well, it's not just a fairy tale. This old trick isn't about having magical powers. It's actually an old way of thinking that's still super useful today. It's called Stoicism. It's from way back when people were bustling around in places like ancient Rome and Greece. Stoicism says that even though we can't control everything that happens to us, we totally have control over how we react to it. And in today's world where things are always changing, this idea could be like a lifeline we've all been needing. Now, here's the cool part. Stoicism isn't just about sitting around and thinking deep thoughts. It's about taking action, living life with purpose, being tough when things get hard, and staying happy no matter what. It's not about hiding your feelings, but understanding them and dealing with them so you can have a better life. So whether you're feeling stressed out, facing tough times, or just want more happiness in your everyday life, you're in the right place. Today we're going to explore Stoicism, learn its timeless lessons, and see how it can make a real difference in how we live. If you're excited to start this journey of change, make sure to subscribe, share this with your friends, and hit that like button. Stick with me until the end, because every moment of this video brings us closer to unlocking the secrets of Stoic wisdom that can really change your life. Have you ever been stuck in traffic, feeling all worked up about being late for something important? Or maybe you found yourself scrolling through your phone, only to get upset by a mean comment someone left on your post. It happens to all of us. It's like our everyday life is full of these little challenges that test our mood and peace of mind at every turn. But here's a different way of looking at things, straight from the world of Stoicism, an ancient philosophy from Greece and Rome. It hands us a powerful tool, focusing on what we can control. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Think about that for a second. Traffic jams, bad weather, negative comments, these things are all outside of our control. No matter how much we wish we could, we can't change them. But what we can change is how we react to them. This idea isn't just some old wisdom. It's backed up by modern psychology too. Carl Jung, a big name in psychology, famously stated, "I am not what happened to me, I am what I choose to become." This lines up perfectly with the Stoic way. It's about realizing that the only real power we have is over our own reactions, thoughts, and actions. Let's break it down a bit. Say you're stuck in that traffic jam, running late for an important meeting. You could spend that time fuming, honking your horn, and stressing out. But let's be real. That won't make the cars ahead move any faster. Or you could take a deep breath, accept the situation, and maybe use the time to listen to a podcast, an audiobook, or simply enjoy some music. The traffic hasn't changed, but your response to it has. And with that shift, your stress levels drop, and your day looks a bit brighter. This Stoic idea of focusing on what we can control goes beyond just dealing with traffic or bad weather. It applies to our personal goals, how we react to others, and how we face obstacles in life. As Marcus Aurelius, another big Stoic figure, reminds us, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. So, next time you find yourself getting all worked up over something you can't control, remember these wise words from our Stoic pals. Ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, let it go. Focus on your reaction, your mindset, and your actions. This simple shift can have a big impact on your stress levels and overall happiness. It's not always easy, but it's worth practicing every day. Remember, it's about progress, not perfection. And as we learn to focus more on what's in our control, we'll find ourselves not just surviving life's challenges, but thriving in spite of them. Stoicism teaches us the art of seeing obstacles as opportunities. It might sound strange at first. Most of us are used to seeing obstacles as roadblocks to our success and happiness. But Stoics like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus flip this idea on its head. They tell us that when life throws us a curveball, instead of asking, "Why me?" we should ask, "What can I learn?" And let me tell you, that's a game changer. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and a Stoic philosopher, wrote in his personal journal, "The obstacle is the way." What he's saying is that every challenge we face not only tests our strength, but also teaches us important lessons. It's like finding the bright side in tough situations and using it to help us grow. And you know what? This idea isn't just something people talked about way back then. Modern thinkers agree too. Take the famous psychologist Carl Jung, for example. He said, "What you resist persists." Basically, if we keep fighting against obstacles, they just keep having power over us. But if we accept them and learn from them, we can overcome them. That's the Stoic way, turning obstacles into chances to become stronger and wiser. Let's make it practical. Imagine you're getting rejected from job applications. It's easy to feel down and doubt yourself, right? But what if you saw each rejection as feedback instead? Maybe there's a skill you need to work on, or a new job search strategy to try. Changing how you see things can turn a bunch of rejections into opportunities for growth. Here's another example: personal conflicts. They're tough, no doubt about it. But they also give us a chance to practice patience, empathy, and communication. Every disagreement is a chance to understand different perspectives and get better at solving problems together. The key to seeing obstacles as chances to grow is asking yourself, "What can I learn from this?" Instead of just feeling like things are happening to you, it's about taking charge and figuring out how to make the most of it. It's not always easy, but it's worth it. Epictetus, another Stoic thinker, once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." That's what Stoicism is all about, looking past the immediate struggle of a problem and finding the lessons and opportunities it brings. So, the next time you're faced with a challenge, big or small, try to take a step back and see it differently. Ask yourself what you can learn from it and how it can make you stronger and wiser. Remember, obstacles aren't just things to get over, they're chances to grow. By embracing this Stoic mindset, we can handle life's ups and downs with more grace, resilience, and wisdom. It's something we've heard before, right? Live in the moment. But what does that really mean, and why does it matter so much? Living in the present moment is all about fully experiencing where you are right now. It's not getting caught up in worries about tomorrow or regrets about yesterday. It's understanding that life, with all its beauty and challenges, happens right here, right now. This idea isn't new. It's been a big part of Stoic philosophy, talked about by great thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus. And it's been echoed by modern psychologists and thinkers too. Let's dive into what the Stoics had to say. Marcus Aurelius, a wise Roman emperor and philosopher, had a great piece of advice. Don't dwell on the past. Don't stress about the future. Focus on the present moment. He knew that living in the now helps us stay grounded, clear our minds, and enjoy life to the fullest. But why is it so tricky to stay present? Our minds are often busy with thoughts, worrying about what's coming next or replaying what's already happened. This mental noise keeps us from fully experiencing the beauty of the moment. Carl Jung, a famous psychologist, once said, "Even the smallest things with meaning are worth more than the biggest things without it." Living in the present moment gives meaning to our everyday experiences, making our lives richer in every way. Aristotle, another wise thinker, talked about being mindful of the present to achieve happiness, health, and prosperity. He believed that by focusing on the here and now, we can lead virtuous lives and get the most out of being human. So, how do we actually live in the present? It starts with mindfulness, paying attention to what's happening right now without judging it. Whether you're eating, walking, or listening to someone, Try to fully immerse yourself in the moment. These simple acts of mindfulness bring us back to the present, making our lives more meaningful. Seneca, a Stoic philosopher, once said, "True happiness is enjoying the present without worrying about the future." He understood that worrying about what's to come or what's already happened only takes away from our happiness in the present. Living in the present doesn't mean ignoring the future or forgetting the past. It's about finding a balance, learning from our past and planning for our future without letting them overshadow our present. It's in this balance that we find peace and contentment. Every moment is a chance to reset and refocus on the present. It's in the now that we truly live, love, and create memories. So let's make a conscious effort to be more present in our lives and cherish each moment, because this moment right here is where life happens. Now, let's talk about self-discipline. I know the word might sound strict or boring, but it's actually about empowering yourself to make choices that match your values and goals. It's about saying yes to what's good for you even when it's hard, and saying no to what's not even when it's tempting. Think about it, sticking to a workout routine, saving money instead of splurging, or focusing on work instead of binge-watching Netflix. These choices might not always feel fun in the moment, but they lead to long-term satisfaction and success. Stoic philosophy has a lot to say about self-discipline too. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This means that true strength comes from mastering yourself, from having the discipline to make the right choices, no matter what's happening around you. It's all about controlling ourselves, our impulses, feelings, and actions, even when life throws us off balance with temptations and distractions. Seneca, a wise philosopher, advises us to stand firm and tame our desires instead of letting them rule us. He knew that real freedom comes from being in charge of ourselves, not from outside forces. But why is self-discipline so important? Aristotle, an ancient Greek philosopher, believed that we become our best selves through regular practice. By staying disciplined, we build habits that lead us towards excellence and goodness. It's not about doing something impressive once in a while, but about making choices every day that reflect our values and goals. Modern psychology also emphasizes the importance of self-discipline. Carl Jung, a pioneer in the field, talked about the need to balance different parts of our personality to live a fulfilling life. This balance requires self-discipline as we navigate our desires and make choices that help us grow. So, how do we develop self-discipline in our daily lives? Start small. Choose one area you want to improve, like your diet, exercise routine, or spending habits. Set achievable goals and take it one step at a time. Every time you make a choice that moves you closer to your goals, you're strengthening your self-discipline. Epictetus, another wise thinker, reminds us that great things aren't achieved overnight. Self-discipline is built through consistent effort. It's about progress, not perfection. Every day brings new chances to practice self-discipline and make choices that align with who we want to be. Building self-discipline is a journey. It's about finding balance between what we want now and what we want most. It's about making choices that might be tough in the moment, but will lead to happiness and peace in the long run. So, let's embark on this journey together. Let's support each other in making the right choices, even when they're not easy. Because in the realm of self-discipline lies the path to achieving our dreams and living a life we truly love. Now let's talk about emotional resilience. When life throws us curveballs, we all feel a whirlwind of emotions: anger, sadness, frustration. But here's the thing, it's not just about what we feel, it's about how we handle it. That's where emotional resilience comes in. It's like a superpower that helps us weather life's storms with grace and come out stronger on the other side. It's about acknowledging our emotions, understanding them, and then taking positive steps to move forward, instead of letting them control us. The Stoics had a lot to say about this. Marcus Aurelius, for example, reminds us that we have power over our minds, not outside events. This means that even though we can't control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. So let's embrace emotional resilience. Let's learn to navigate our feelings with strength and wisdom. Because when we do, we can face life's challenges with courage and resilience, knowing that we have the power to overcome them. Seneca, a wise philosopher, teaches us how to face tough times without losing our cool. He says that life's challenges are like exams for our strength and resilience. By dealing with our emotions calmly and patiently, we can become wiser and tougher. But how do we become emotionally strong? It starts with knowing ourselves. Being aware of our feelings and how we react to them helps us understand ourselves better. It's totally okay to feel what we feel. Instead of letting our emotions run wild, we can choose to respond in ways that match our values and make us feel good in the long run. Aristotle talks about finding the middle ground, not going overboard or holding back too much. This applies to emotional strength too. It's about having a balanced response to our feelings, neither ignoring them nor letting them control us. Carl Jung, a big name in psychology, says that to be whole, we need to accept and learn from all parts of ourselves, including our emotions. This is key to building emotional strength. So what can we do when emotions hit hard? First, it's okay to feel them without judging ourselves. Then, we can take a step back and figure out what triggered those feelings. This reflection helps us understand our emotions better and learn from them. Epictetus reminds us that it's not what happens to us, but how we deal with it that counts. We can choose to react in ways that help us grow and heal, instead of just reacting out of habit. Building emotional strength takes time and practice. It's about being mindful, reflecting on our feelings, and being patient with ourselves. It's also about having strategies to cope, like writing in a journal, talking to a friend, or relaxing. Most importantly, it's about being kind to ourselves as we go through the ups and downs of emotions. Emotional strength isn't about never feeling bad. It's about handling those feelings with grace and coming out stronger on the other side. By developing emotional strength, we give ourselves the power to face life's challenges bravely and calmly. Let's take this journey together, supporting each other as we become more emotionally resilient and live more fulfilling lives. The Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, and Epictetus, didn't talk about death to scare us. They wanted us to appreciate every moment. They believed that knowing life is short helps us live fully, consciously, and gratefully. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, often thought about how life is fleeting. He encouraged us to live in line with our values and make the most of the time we have. "You could leave life right now," he wrote. "Let that determine what you do and say and think." This isn't about being gloomy. It's a call to make our lives count. Here's a gentle nudge to focus on what really counts, to let go of small worries and to live with purpose and honor. Seneca, too, talked about how short life is, urging us not to waste it on trivial things, but to create a life that truly means something. He believed that being aware of death helps us live smarter and appreciate our relationships and experiences more. Epictetus stressed the importance of living in the present and making the most of our time. By remembering that our time here is limited, we're more likely to live ethically and enjoy the beauty of life. But how do we bring this idea of memento mori into our own lives without feeling gloomy? It starts with changing how we see it. Instead of seeing thoughts of death as scary, we can see them as a reminder to make the most of every moment. It's about embracing today, not waiting for some unknown future. Think about the things you've been putting off. Maybe it's chasing a dream, spending time with loved ones, or just enjoying the little things in life. Memento mori reminds us not to take our time for granted. It encourages us to be real, to say what we feel, to love openly, and to be fully present in our lives. It also helps us appreciate that life is short, which makes us more grateful for the moments we have. So let's use memento mori as a spark for growth, gratitude, and a deeper love for life. Let it guide us to make choices that really matter, to treasure our connections, and to enjoy the beauty of now. Remembering that our time is limited pushes us to live fully today. In embracing memento mori, we find a powerful reminder to live not in fear of death, but in celebration of life. Let's make every moment count, not because we're scared of it ending, but because we're crazy about life itself. Let's live in a way that when our time does come, we can look back with no regrets, knowing we embraced life to the fullest. It's amazing how something so simple can change everything. Shifting our focus to what we have instead of what we lack can really transform our lives. The Stoics, wise as they were, had a lot to say about gratitude. They believed that true happiness doesn't come from having more stuff, but from appreciating what we already have. Marcus Aurelius often wrote about finding joy in the present and being grateful for the little things. He said, when you wake up in the morning, think about what a precious gift it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love. That's gratitude in its purest form, recognizing the value of life itself and all the blessings it brings us every single day. Seneca pointed out how our desires can lead us down a never-ending path, always wanting more and never feeling truly satisfied. He suggested that by appreciating what we already have and recognizing that life's greatest treasures are right in front of us, we can find genuine contentment. Epictetus, known for his practical Stoic teachings, encouraged people to find value in their current circumstances, no matter how challenging they may be. He believed that by accepting and finding meaning in the present moment, we can live a more fulfilling life. But how do we actually practice gratitude, especially when life throws us curveballs? It starts with making gratitude a part of our daily routine. Each morning or evening, take a moment to think about 3 things you're grateful for, whether it's a comforting cup of coffee, a heartwarming chat with a friend, or the breathtaking beauty of a sunset. This simple practice helps train our brains to focus on the positive, boosting our mood and outlook on life. Gratitude also means seeing challenges as opportunities for growth. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective helps us appreciate both the good and bad experiences as valuable lessons on our journey. Furthermore, expressing gratitude strengthens our connections with others. A heartfelt thank you can brighten someone's day and deepen our relationships, as Aristotle emphasized. He believed that gratitude was essential for true happiness, allowing us to recognize the goodness around us and within ourselves. Even modern psychology supports the power of gratitude. Studies have shown that practicing gratitude regularly reduces anxiety, improves sleep, and fosters a more positive outlook on life. As Carl Jung noted, happiness wouldn't have its meaning without sadness. By embracing and being thankful for all our experiences, we discover a richer, more authentic happiness. So, let's make gratitude a central part of our lives. Let's celebrate the small wins, cherish moments of connection, and find joy in life's simple pleasures. By focusing on what we have rather than what we lack, we cultivate a sense of abundance and happiness that radiates from within. Remember, it's not happiness that brings us gratitude. It's gratitude that brings us happiness. Let's raise our glasses to the beauty of gratitude, even on the gloomiest days. Cheers to finding the silver lining and embracing personal excellence. Just like the wise Stoics taught us, Marcus Aurelius once pondered why people often prioritize the opinions of others over their own self-assessment. It's a puzzling paradox we often find ourselves in, isn't it? Seneca shared this sentiment, urging us to live authentically, true to our own values, rather than seeking validation from others. He believed that genuine contentment stems from living a life aligned with our principles. Epictetus chimed in, reminding us that worrying about what others think is beyond our control, and therefore not worth our energy. Instead, He encouraged us to focus on our actions and living virtuously, where our true power lies. So, how do we break free from the grip of others' opinions and stay true to ourselves? Firstly, recognize that you are the author of your own story. Your worth isn't determined by societal norms or social media validation. It's rooted in your values, kindness, and efforts to be the best version of yourself. Secondly, engage in self-reflection. Ask yourself if you're living your own life or trying to fit into someone else's mold. Being vulnerable and acknowledging your imperfections is part of being authentic. Thirdly, find balance, as Aristotle suggested. Consider constructive feedback, but don't let it overshadow your sense of self-worth. Strive for a healthy balance between outside opinions and staying true to yourself. Incorporating a Stoic mindset means understanding that our worth comes from within, not from external validation. Let's build inner strength that isn't swayed by fleeting opinions. Let's commit to valuing ourselves for who we are, not for external approval. Let's embrace our authenticity and shine our unique light in the world. Now, about change, it's inevitable. Learning to adapt and embrace change is crucial for our growth and happiness. Life is constantly evolving, and by going with the flow, we can navigate its twists and turns with resilience and grace. Life's constant twists and turns can feel less daunting when we see them as an exciting adventure. The Stoics had a refreshing take on change. They viewed it as a natural part of life's rhythm. Marcus Aurelius, for instance, advised us to embrace whatever comes our way, trusting that it fits into our destiny's pattern. Seneca warned against becoming too attached to our current circumstances because change is inevitable. He urged us to stay flexible, understanding that change is essential for our personal growth and happiness. Epictetus emphasized focusing on what we can control, our attitudes, when faced with external changes. But how can we learn to accept change more easily? Firstly, by acknowledging its inevitability. Change is woven into the fabric of life itself. Seasons shift, people enter and exit our lives, and even our cells regenerate constantly. Secondly, by practicing mindfulness, which allows us to appreciate the present moment without clinging to it. This mindset creates room for acceptance when things inevitably change. Thirdly, by seeking the lessons in change. Every challenge holds opportunities for growth. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What can I learn from this?" This shift in perspective can turn change's challenges into avenues for personal development. Aristotle believed that adaptability was a key virtue for leading a happy life. Embracing change with grace and wisdom is a crucial part of this. Modern psychology also supports this Stoic approach, suggesting that viewing change as an opportunity rather than a threat can reduce stress and enhance resilience. Let's remember that change isn't just something to endure, it's something to welcome as a natural part of our journey. By accepting change, we open ourselves to new experiences and growth, enriching our unique paths in life. Let's navigate life's currents with courage, grace, and a heart open to the endless possibilities that change brings. After all, despite our differences, we're all in this together, navigating life's complex journey. By nurturing a compassionate and empathetic attitude towards others, we play a vital role in making the world a warmer, more caring place. The Stoics, those wise ancient philosophers who still inspire us today, emphasized the importance of these virtues. They believed in the interconnectedness of all people and taught that showing kindness and understanding is fundamental to leading a good life. Marcus Aurelius, for example, reminded us that humans are naturally social beings, meant to live in harmony. He compared our well-being to that of a bee in its hive, showing how closely linked our happiness is to the happiness of others. Seneca stressed treating others with kindness and generosity, arguing that helping others ultimately benefits us too. He even encouraged extending empathy to those who may have wronged us, understanding that they too face their own struggles. Epictetus urged us to try to see things from others' perspectives, acknowledging that everyone has their own reasons for their actions. This doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior, but rather approaching others with empathy, seeking to understand where they're coming from. So how do we put compassion and empathy into practice in our daily lives? It starts with truly listening to others, hearing their stories, experiences, and emotions. By putting ourselves in their shoes, we can bridge divides and build connections. Small acts of kindness, like offering a smile or a kind word, can also go a long way in brightening someone's day. Being present for others in times of need, offering support without judgment, shows that we value their worth and dignity. Aristotle spoke of the importance of friendship and the role empathy plays in fostering strong relationships. He believed true friends not only share in each other's joys but also in their sorrows, supporting each other with empathy and understanding. Modern psychology backs this up, showing that compassion and empathy not only strengthen our relationships, but also enhance our own emotional well-being. Let's remember that everyone has a story and a reason behind their actions. By understanding and caring for each other, we create a world that's kinder and more gentle. In doing so, we not only enrich the lives of those around us, but also find deeper fulfillment and joy in our own lives. Together, let's spread kindness like confetti, creating ripples of compassion that transform the world, one act of empathy at a time. It's about taking a meaningful pause to reflect on our actions, thoughts, and paths forward. We've journeyed through the realms of growth, self-discovery, and staying true to our core values. In a world that's always hustling and bustling, this practice acts as our anchor, ensuring we're not just swept away by the currents, but are sailing in the direction that truly resonates with us. The Stoics, with their deep understanding of human nature, placed great importance on reflection. Take Marcus Aurelius, for example. Despite ruling an empire, he made time to ponder over his life, decisions, and moral compass. He saw this reflection as vital for living a life of virtue and purpose. "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts," he wrote, highlighting how our inner dialogue shapes our external reality. Seneca suggested regular self-assessment as a means for self-improvement and wisdom. He likened life to a play, where we periodically review our roles and performances. Are we acting in line with the character we wish to embody? Are our actions reflecting the values we hold dear? Epictetus urged his students to end each day with a review, not for self-criticism, but for self-awareness and growth. By asking questions like, what did I do well, what did I do wrong, what duties left undone, we can steer our lives consciously, making adjustments that bring us closer to our ideals. But how do we weave this Stoic practice of reflection into our modern lives? First, make it a habit. Dedicate a few minutes each day, perhaps before bedtime, to reflect on your day's highs and lows. Writing it down can amplify its benefits, providing a tangible record of your journey. Second, use reflection as a gratitude tool. Alongside reviewing your day, take note of moments, no matter how small, that brought you joy or gratitude. This balances our natural tendency to focus on the negative, fostering a more positive outlook. Third, approach this practice with kindness and compassion toward yourself. Reflection isn't about beating yourself up for mistakes, but about recognizing them as opportunities for growth. Aristotle believed in living a reflective life, understanding ourselves, our actions, and our place in the world. In modern psychology, regular reflection is linked to improvements in mental health, clarity of purpose, and personal growth. Let's commit to this practice of reflecting and reviewing regularly. It serves as our guidepost, ensuring we're not just passive spectators in our lives, but active participants shaping them according to our values. As we part ways today, remember that each lesson from Stoicism isn't just ancient wisdom, it's a life hack to deal with stress, make better decisions, and find peace amidst chaos. So, let's not just exist, let's live vibrantly, purposefully, authentically. Remember not to let the inspiration end here. Dive deeper into the playlist provided and continue sculpting the most authentic version of yourself. Together, let's keep growing, reflecting, and embracing the beautiful complexity of life. Thank you for sharing this time with me. Until we meet again, remember to live not just for the applause, but for the cause of being your most genuine self. Take care, and see you on the next step of our journey.